Hello cats and kittens, MamaCatGamer here with another episode in Gavtia's adventures through Eorzea and beyond. Since we're not in Eorzea at the moment, we're in the first. Let me make sure this is going correctly. All right. Adventures through Eorzea and beyond. We're in the first. This is going. All right. All right. Trying to get this to the end so I'm not like way behind on my stream. Okay. All right. Let me turn that down too. Hello cats and kittens, MamaCatGamer here with another adventure through Eorzea, or the first in this case, with Gavtia. We are in the Shadowbringers expansion. We had started just barely a day in the neighborhood. And we also need to talk to Lurik in the Crystarium. So we're going to go to the Crystarium. I get a sandwich basket in there. Let's do some food too. I just loaded up a squadron spirit bonding manual. My dog is barking outside. I might have to go get her. Hey, how are you? We're just like an overexcited Lala. All right. We have to talk to Lurik. Ah, he's down here by market boards. Musica Universalis markets. Oh, here's a destination for us. Okay. Lurik's customary seat is empty, and there's nothing to suggest he has occupied it recently. Perhaps someone will have noted his passing. I love the Crystarium music. Although this one's kind of, Oh, I didn't read that before I hit the button. This version is kind of a haunting version. It's very interesting. Lurik the Mistel Lordling, if he ain't sat at his usual table, then I've no idea where else to look. May Touch. Looking for Master Reek, are we? Heh, I dare say you're the only one. Word is Mummy and Daddy cut him off, so there's no point in pretending to like the little shite anymore. Last I saw him, he was moping around like someone had shot his Amuro. I'm sure he'll turn up eventually. A lot of people have very low opinions of him. Well-traveled mage. Kalusia, right? You're Lurik's partner. I was with Landbird, remember? Actually, I don't, but Gav might. Was, I ought to stress, because after we left you, we headed straight to Raktika. We'd heard a rumor Andrea was there, And Landbird wanted to strike while the iron was hot. By the time we realized we were overmatched, it was too late. I saw Landbird fall, and then the Eater set her sights on the others. Oh, and when the Eater set her sights on the others, I fled. Call me a coward if you like, but my cowardice saved my life. Wicked White, I still remember looking back as I ran and seeing Landbird rise to his feet. I told everyone what had happened to warn them off the hunt. Some listened, but a few bloody fools took up their weapons and joined the hunt. Glory-hungry imbeciles, and not a one of them has returned. Didn't expect Lurik to be one of them neither. I remember thinking it odd, especially when I saw him leave for Raktika alone. You're meeting him there, I presume? Good luck, friend, but have no doubt that you're going to your doom. Alright, we're gonna search for him in Raktika. So, you're channeling your inner Tataru, right? I love Tataru. She's so fun. That soprano hitting that note, so clean. Alright, we can go to Slitherbow. Let's go work on that one real quick. Last time we had a big fight here and had to deal with Andrea doing her thing. And then I had to go look up a guide again. Because I wasn't paying attention to the fact that my 5th skill there was not a, inactive one. It was an active one. That was my interrupt skill. I wonder if they recorded her singing separate from the music, and then because it feels like the music is like a half a beat off from what she's singing. They're very intentional. That's done to kind of make you feel like something's not quite right. But it's a beautiful piece. Hey, Ro! Gav, why are you here? Don't tell me you came after me, or came for me. It's terrible. It's horrible, Andrea. She's... Uh-oh. This echo thing always happens in front of Lurik. This is like the 3rd or 4th time. Rendere, if aught of you remains, then hearken to my words. Okay, Lurik is like channeling a Urianger there. I've come to lay your soul to rest, alone, as you yourself faced Balam Keats a century ago on this very ground. Okay, maybe not so alone. Landbird. Oh, gods, no! Maybe we're rethinking this decision. She's going, he's not worth our time. Look of contempt on her face. Oh, I'll have to check it out. I know they're doing a crossover event here very shortly. I think it starts in on October 7th, so less than a week. Omega in Final Fantasy XIV can be a beast. A beast. Fun fight. But he can there's a lot of mechanics involved with him. Lou Reek says, "Don't tell me you beheld a vision of my past just now, didn't you?" It's like, I don't have any control over this kind of thing. I thought as much. Wasn't but a moment ago that I confronted them. Awfully useful, that trick of yours, though I can't understand why you kept using it every time we ran into Andrea. It's like, you could say, I can't control when it happens, or believe me, I was just as surprised as you were. Huh? So it wasn't something you did deliberately? Good to know. Anyway, unintentional or not, at least I won't have to convince you of what I saw. She's turned Landbird and those other hunters into sin-eaters like herself. A Humaxman, a Galgant swordsman, a dwarven healer, an elven mage. Looked awfully familiar, didn't it? She's rebuilding her fellowship. She's making the Warriors of Light. Or she's remaking the Warriors of Light. But for the life of me, I can't understand why. I mean, I understand why she came here in the first place. She's reliving the hunt for Balam Keats. But Renda Ray slew the beast by herself. The stories were clear about that. What? They were there too? Then the stories were wrong? God, strike me down. I've been such a fool. Why did I ever think I could do this alone? I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for all the things I said, Gav. I've regretted my behavior ever since the day we parted ways. It was stupid and nonsensical and utterly pointless. This guy is doing this self-flagellating thing where he's beating himself up. I'm not sure I could even tell you why I did what I did. You can say, it's fine, water under the bridge, or kind of keep quiet. Let's keep quiet and see what he says. Gav just kind of gives him a look. You're still upset, as you have every right to be, but I will make it up to you. I will. I don't know how or when, but I will. I swear. Right then. Andrea should be around here somewhere. Still on the hunt for Balam Keats, I expect. Not that she'll ever find it. No doubt Landbird and the others are with her too. He and I may have had our differences, but I'd not wish that fate on my worst enemy. He deserves to be laid to rest. They all do. Renda Ray most of all. She is my hero, and if I have to kill her to save her soul, then so be it. Alright. I had to, turn off this pop-up that came from Windows. But this is too much for even the best hunter to handle alone, and I am far from the best. The only way to see this through is together. You and me, my friend. What say you? Gav agrees. I asked for a word and you give me a nod. That's a, a subtle nod, or, subtle callback to the fact that your character never voices anything. You just nod whenever you want to say yes. I ask you for a word and you give me a nod. Fair enough. Before we resume the hunt in earnest, though, let us return to Gate Town and let Miss Alvara know all is well. After all, you wouldn't have come unless she sent you. Let's go talk to her real quick. It's like a metal frog. My daughter will love that. My daughter is like totally into frogs. Oh, I'm looking forward to seeing Guardian Arkfeld, you said? Managed to kill the 8-star Omega and Wilds. Oh, good. Yeah, Savage is, especially in Final Fantasy XIV, Savage is a big, big step up. Right? Yeah, Silent. Yeah. There she is. I like Alvara. She's nice. She's a practical woman. Lurik says, I owe her so much, then and now. Gav, what a pleasure to see you again. And in the company of little Reek, no less. He's not so little anymore, Alvara. He's kind of a grown man now. Or grown Mikote, whatever you want to call it. Am I right in assuming you've patched things up? Lurik says, I should like to think so, yes, and it's all thanks to you. Had you not implored him to give me another chance, I might well still be sitting alone in the swamps, dwelling on my myriad failings. And you, my friend, I know not why you sought her out on your own, but I am glad that you did. Miss Alvara is perhaps the only person who truly cares for my well-being, but she has no one to look after her. Oh, don't be silly, Reek. I have you, don't I? And before you start blabbering about how you wish you could properly reward Gav, as I can tell you you're about to, know that I've prepared a hearty meal just for him. Oh, wait, you didn't... Did you make one for Lurik, too? Lurik says, oh, that's very thoughtful of you. Nevertheless, I shall see you both duly compensated once we have claimed the bounty for Andrea. And claim it we shall. For united, Reek and Gav are unstoppable, is what I would like to say, but I know my own limitations better than anyone. 'Twould be prudent to make proper preparations at this juncture. You, too, should see to it that you are ready for the struggle ahead. It'll be a mighty one indeed, but one well worth the effort, my friend. Ah, she made risotto al Nero. I wonder, seeing as Nero isn't in the first, I'm kind of wondering how she got that recipe. I do hope you continue to remain good friends from now on. Nurik wishes to confront an uncomfortable truth. Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's a quote-unquote correct rotation in that game as well as here. You can kind of play the game as you want, but there's definitely an optimal way to play your rotation. The balance, if you all don't know about it, the balance, if you just, do a search for the balance FFXIV, it'll pop up for you. That place is my go-to source for gearing things correctly, make sure I'm hitting the right stats for my class or job, and, the proper rotation, because they spell it out for you very clearly. And then Icy-Veins has this really cool, for each job, except maybe Viper, because I don't know if they've done that one yet for Viper. For every job except that, they take you from level 1 to 100 on your job, and there's a little slider bar that you can slide over, and it'll tell you what the optimal rotation is for that level, which is really cool. I mean, very cool. I've used that a lot in jobs that I don't know well. Yeah, my friend, my partner. I trust you're ready? Good. This is very good indeed, for before we depart to face Andrea for what I pray is the final time, I have a confession to make. I may have been somewhat misleading when I intimated the tremendousness of my martial prowess. You don't say. In truth, it rather pales in comparison to yours. Well, your Warrior of Light is like a superhero, right? I could say, or do tell. I'm going to do the last one. You must be terribly crestfallen, I'm sure. No, not really. It's my deepest regret that I allowed you to labor under the misapprehension that we were equals for so long. In my defense, I must say that when I realized what an exceedingly powerful warrior you truly are, I was dumbstruck. I struggled to conceive of how even to broach the subject. Furthermore, I must admit that great majority, nay, all of our efforts to hone our skills in preparation for the battle to come have been entirely for my benefit. That this disparity between us might not be so readily apparent. To think that my insecurity drove me to postpone this fateful day for so long. In my cowardice, I allowed Andrea to assemble a party of followers. Where before we might have only to contend with the one foe, we must now confront 5. And for all my preparation, I am still no more likely to be an asset to you than a hindrance. But perhaps that need not be the case. In discussing this grim reality with Miss Alvara while you were away, we hit upon a potential stratagem. Recall you Renda Ray's greatest strength and weakness, her preternatural hearing? We could be reasonably certain that Andrea is possessed of it as well. Therefore, if you were to fashion a device that could produce a loud noise at will, you could use it to secure an advantage in your battle. Nurik says, what I lack in strength of arms I may make up for with guile. While it will not guarantee us victory, it will surely bring us one step closer. Diligent manservant, 1,000 pardons, Master Reek, but I am come to deliver a message from your Lord Father. Nurik says, Daddy? What does he want with me now? It has come to your Lord Father's attention that you may have engaged in the hunting of sin-eaters, in gross violation of Yulmore's most sacred values. He commands you to cease all such activities at once and return to the city forthwith. Should you fail to do so, you will be stripped of your citizenship and family name. No further financial assistance will be provided. Oh dear. Alvara's just looking at him. She's going, is he going to make the right decision here? Lurik says, you may tell my father and my mother the following, that I am Lurik, proud bounty hunter, slayer of sin-eaters, that I have no intention of renouncing this cause, and that they are free to do as they deem fit. Tell them that if they have no son, then I have no parents, that I have no family save Miss Alvara, who has shown me more love than they ever have. Diligent manservant says, very good, Master Reek. I shall deliver your reply to them at once. He's going to be the bearer of bad news. Or maybe not. I mean, it sounds like his parents, were like holy and attentive. Right. Now that that's settled, we can get to work crafting that giant noisemaker of ours. Let us consult with the craftsman of the chrysalid bead at once. Alvara says, I dare say you lit a fire in him, Gav. I never thought I'd see the day when he'd muster the courage to say anything like that to his parents. Our little boy's growing up. Oh yeah, you'll get there eventually. Alright, let's speak upon this in the Crystarium. I have a little kitten, Torajiro here. Just little, orange tabby, like my Jake. It was like, she was, pouncing on something on the ground. It was really cute. Let's go down to... Let's go over to Crystalline Mean. I was looking down south instead of north. Lurik says, for all my time in the Crystarium, I cannot recall ever visiting the Crystalline Mean. Nevertheless, I'm sure there is someone here who can assist us. There's Loith. What's all this, then? You got something that needs making? Lurik says, indeed I do, good sir. I wish to commission the production of a device that can generate a tremendously loud noise. It must be small and light enough to be carried by a single individual as well. Loith says, ain't that one of the stranger requests I've heard? Well, if it's just noise you want, then I'd wager we could make do with a special blend of fire sand. I think I've got just the recipe for your needs. I'll need some choice ingredients, mind, and you'll need to go and fetch them for me. Lurik says, fetch? What precisely is it that you require? Well, there's this one particular beastie native to Kalusia that's what's got a singular diet and leaves these massive dung piles. I don't think there's a single expansion that goes by where you don't collect dung at some point. The fresher the better, if it please. A few varieties of grasses native to Raktika. Oh, and some iron ore from Amarang. I can give you a list if you like. Lurik says, to wit, I will need to travel to the far corners of Norvrent and back. Oh dear, this is rather more involved than I... No, no. No more excuses. I'll do whatever must needs be done to see this through to the end. My friend, I will not impose these tasks upon you. I insist that you remain here while I go and fetch the required materials. Oh wait, we don't have to do it? Wait for Lurik to return. Ah, okay, now we gotta go south. Here's our destination. It was a series of surprisingly harrowing experiences. But in the end, I managed to obtain the materials necessary for the construction of my secret weapon. That gentleman was rather accommodating. Despite being somewhat put out that I had not any guild to pay him for his labor, he was nevertheless willing to teach me how to craft the arrows myself. He said he found my industriousness endearing. I must confess, despite being utterly exhausted by all this busy work, it has been somewhat refreshing. And now that my noisemaker arrows are ready, I cannot wait to put them to the proof. If all goes to plan, the explosion should be loud enough to incapacitate Andrea for a time. Let us put an end to her tale, my friend, and in so doing write the opening of ours. That of Reek and Gav, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Come, Raktika and Gloria, wait. I don't know. I don't know if they do it knowing that, you know, like 13 and 14-year-old kids are going to, you know, get a huge laugh out of going to collect up dung piles. Let's go back to Slitherbow. Well, we're going to be doing the main scenario quest line in Shadowbringers in a little bit. I'll let you know when we're going to start that in case you don't want spoilers. This and Heavensward, to me, are the two best expansions. They're fantastic. This is one of those games where the expansions are actually quite a bit better than the main game. Although I enjoyed the main game. Some people don't, but I did. We're going to ignore that fate. Alright, looks like we have an instance duty here. I'm actually going to switch to Reaper for that. His gear is better. And even though the gear gets synced down, it's kind of nice to... Still nice to have better gear. If I may make one small request before we begin, please, for the love of the gods, please try not to succumb to any visions of people's past. This really could not be a worse time. Alright, if you are above the maximum allowed level, it would be synced as follows. Level 80, this is duty calls. Sorry, this is not duty calls. It's called Courage Born of Fear. Oh yeah, the main game took me a long time to finish. Alright. I'll see if I can fabricate you some goodies. Once you finish the A Realm Reborn story, you'll have access to the Tome of Poetics vendor in all three of the main city-states that you start with. And that vendor has some really nice level 50 gear for each, and you can buy pieces for another job if you want. But until you get access to that vendor, the gearing is kind of eh. I mean, it's not horrible, right? You know, I recommend changing gear on your DPS and healers at least once every 10 levels, including your weapon. And then if you're a tank, you probably want to do it like every 5-ish. Okay. Because that's, you need the help to stay alive. Especially at the lower levels, and for some of the level 40 and up dungeons that are just really badly tuned for those level of characters, because you get synced down, of course, in your dungeons. Right? Ah, no. I don't think the Tome of Poetics vendor is a secret. But I'll see if Tyrius can make you some goodies. Well, are you still with me in the here and now? Yep, we are. Excellent. Then we can attend to the task at hand without worry. Let us lay to rest our fellow hunters and grant Rendere the peace a hero deserves. I'm going to take the conjure. I'll distract Andrea. I missed what she said there. You want to take the spellcasters out first if you can. Wonder why he's... let's take the healer out. Sorry, this is going to take forever otherwise. Yeah, we went out of that. Oh, I need to get the mage. So priority on these, I would typically do healer, and then the mages, and then the tanks if you can. Try not to get pushed back into the fire. And then we're gonna step out. They went Lurik. always keep up your Death's Design buff on Reaper. You get extra damage when you have that up. And it also helps you build your... I'll draw. You handle the knight. Okay. We're gonna get out of that. We're gonna run to behind him. It's like, oh, no, you don't. You all right? Just us and Andrea now. I'm gonna turn her away from Lurik. I think it's stay out of that. Lurik has some plot armor there. I'm heading true north here because oh, we gotta go over to Lurik. Specialty solution. Oh, Lurik healed us. Very nice. Duty complete. All right. Rest in peace, friend Array. We won. Even seeing it and saying it, it hardly feels real. There's a crystal down there. Huh? What's that you got there? It's like a broken crystal. Wait, you're... That's a very colorful outfit there. You're Renda Ray. The real Renda Ray. I should have never betrayed your trust. Never again, I swore. Never again. Balam Keats, the Shadowkeeper, the Flood. Come what Come what may, we would face it together, no matter how hard it got or how terrified I was. That's what it means to let someone into your heart, knowing full well that nothing lasts forever. To welcome the fear and the pain, the sorrow. When I lost my parents, when we laid the keeper low, you felt it too, didn't you? To place our faith in a desperate, hopeless attempt to save everyone, and to see it amount to naught in the end. What else could we do but offer up that tiny remainder in a final futile effort, even knowing deep down it was worth but a few moments more? Lurik says, "What is this?" You gave me fear, and that fear gave me strength. Wait, there's so much I want to ask. I don't understand. What was she talking about? And Gav goes and explains. It's not right. It's not fair. Heroes sacrificing themselves for nothing, becoming villains, being forgotten. Thank you, Gav. I could have never gotten this far without your help. I had no idea who Rendaray or any of the other warriors of light truly were. 'Twas all ancient history to me. Why would I care who some sinners once were? I was no better than my parents, judging them out of hand, dismissing their sacrifice, not bothering to look deeper. It made it all the easier to pursue Andrea for my own amusement. I pray I've made up for it in part by helping to lay Rendaray's soul to rest. Miss Alvara's probably worried sick about us both. We should return to Kaluja and let her know that we're all right. Oh, not the healer? Yeah. I will, I got Scholar leveled to 100 because it levels passively along with Summoner, starting at Arcanist. So, and the other way around, so if you hate, DPS caster, but you love playing healers, you pick up the Arcanist job along when you pick up the Scholar job, and Arcanist into Summoner will level with you passively. So you can see that here. My Scholar is the same level as my Summoner, and I haven't done anything but unlock the job. So, I hate playing healers because it's like I can't do it really well because watching their health bars go down triggers that adrenaline rush that I get during an emergency at work. And, when I get home at night, I just want to chill out. I don't want to, be on edge all night trying to keep somebody alive, right? Because the adrenaline wears off after a while, but it's definitely not fun to have happen when it's happening. I mean, you just work through it, right? I don't know. I tell people when they're talking about this, you kind of have to surf that adrenaline wave, just kind of ride along on top of it, so that you can keep your wits about you when you got something bad going on. Oop, that's not what I want. I want the Fenrir because it goes a little faster. It has a little bit of a speed buff compared to the other mounts. One of these other mounts might, pre-order mounts might have the same. So anyway, the few times I've played a healer, I was like sitting on pins and needles, like, oh my god, I'm sorry you died. Like, everybody else was laughing because they were just seeing my reactions. Lurik says, I can't wait to tell Miss Alvara everything, and I should definitely use some of the bounty to treat her. It is hard to take Lalafell seriously, like you mentioned. Although Pippin is a little easier to take seriously, just as you have conversations with him. Really cool character. My little Reek, Gav, congratulations on a job well done. And from one hunter to another, thank you for helping Renda Ray to achieve a measure of peace. She was a hero to me too, and it broke my heart to know what had become of her. To have your legacy tarnished so, to have the world call you villain, even still. But at least I can take comfort in knowing she can finally enjoy a long rest. Nurik says, whatever others may say, we will preserve the truth in story and song. Renda Ray, the bravest hunter there ever was, and more importantly, a true friend to those she held dear. I can only hope to measure up to her example someday. For now, however, I say we return to the Crystarium and raise a glass in celebration. Oh, you're a great healer too, by the way. Fantastic. I don't mind tanking. I'm just the tank role in this game makes you kind of responsible for leading people through a dungeon too. It's like this unwritten rule. It makes sense because you want the tank to take aggro first, right? And I didn't really want to do it until I knew the dungeons really well. Alvara says, so she brought down Balam Keats not alone, but with the aid of her comrades. It may not be the story I was taught, but somehow it rings truer to my ear. Okay, back to the Crystarium. Yeah, it's taken me, this long to be semi-comfortable doing it. Alright, let's go down to talk to Lurik. The only thing I worry about is like doing trials and raids and stuff like that where you've got tank swaps, right? Because I have to keep track of, what's happening there. I can't just do my own thing, right? Andrea's bounty has been paid to us in full, my friend. So, come, let us eat, drink, and be merry. We are partying hard tonight. I don't think that table can hold anything more. I've been meaning to ask, Gav. But I have the impression you are rather more acquainted with these warriors of light than you've been letting on. What exactly do you know about them? So we fill him in on all the details. That is so preposterous a tale that I have no choice but to assume it is true. Offering up their lives to first cross the rift, then to halt the flood. Wicked White! It must have taken her so much courage to see it through in those final moments. A courage born not of a desire for glory or dedication to an ideal, but of fear and love for those with whom she had forged unshakable bonds, her comrades. I won't pretend that we have anything even approaching such a powerful connection, but I would like to think that if you were in mortal peril that I would fly to your side without hesitation. Not too sure about that quite yet. Lurica has a lot more growing up to do. Having said that, if I were tested as Renda Ray were, if I were challenged to offer up my life for others, without even knowing if it would amount to aught, I doubt I could rise to the occasion. I am a child and a fool who knows little of the world. I've been coddled and spoiled, and have only just tasted the bitter fruits of life that you and countless others sup on daily. You're made of sterner stuff, Gav, far sterner than me, and that is why I know I can never walk your path. You could say, do you wish you could, or no shame in that? Let's do the first one. How could I not? I cannot recall a time I've ever felt happier and more alive than when I have traveled with you. But you have countless other journeys ahead of you, don't you? For you are just destined for greater challenges, whereas I am suited to rather more pedestrian affairs. Know your limits, as Miss Alvara used to say. Meeting her again after all these years, seeing how much older and more frail she'd become, made me realize how little time together we have left. She shouldn't have to live out her days living alone and in squalor. I've decided it will not be so. I shall return to Kalusia and attend to her needs, for I would do my utmost to repay the love and kindness that made me the man I am today. Oh, that's sweet. Therefore, though it pains me to say it, I fear the celebration must also mark the end, or at very least a tentative suspension, of the glorious partnership that was Reek and Gav, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Should you ever find yourself in Kalusia, however, do come and pay us a visit. Alright. Determination, crit, and direct hit. If I'm going to sell these, because the Materia 7s don't sell for much. Oh, I get all three. Okay. You might be able to sell them on the market board. More likely is to vendor trash them because you don't need the rank 7 stuff. Yeah. I never played Tank in Tor. You have to in Tor. You don't have to worry about it as much in Final Fantasy XIV. Yeah, no dark side options, no. Sorry. Although the dark side options in Tor are sometimes so stupid. It's like when I was playing on my male Inquisitor, some of the dark side options were like, kick puppies and kill baby seals, and the light side option was the smart one that my Inquisitor would take. So I ended up picking up light side points just because I went, nah, my Inquisitor wouldn't do that. That's a waste of his time. He's going to do this because that's the smart way to go. Alright, speak with Runar. No, that's not what I want. Alright, we're gonna go back to Slitherbow. Yeah, for sure. Welcome, friend, welcome. My apologies for our less than hospitable greeting earlier, says Runar. Tell me, what is your name? From where do you hail? From the Crystarium, I see. And this tablet you've brought may help us find the Light Warden here in Raktika? Well, you are welcome to stay with us as long as you need. Come, let me show you around. Minfilia says, would it be all right if I joined you? Of course, anything for the guests of our dear Master Matoya. Thank you, she means a great deal to the Knights Blessed, doesn't she? If not for her, we may have all perished in the great fire. With our priests slain and our home in ruins, we were at the mercy of the Sin-Eaters. It was she who drove them back, and with her sage guidance, we were able to rebuild. Before long, she became a central figure in our community, a great oak within whose shadow many have come to find solace. This is not to say there were not those hesitant to grant an outsider such authority, myself included. Perhaps it is the smile in her eyes when she speaks of the sunless sea. I feel whole again now that she is with us, and I have no doubt the others feel the same. I think he was like trying to do this, I'm kind of embarrassed to say I really like her kind of motion there. She is as much a part of the Knights Blessed as any of us, and we are grateful for all she does in service to the dark. Minfilia thinks that's cool. But you did not hear this from me, yes? It'll be our secret. Alright, I'm trying to catch a cold for my kids, so I got this tickle in my throat that's driving me crazy. Anyway, now you should know there are certain customs we ask guests to adhere to, so long as they reside within Slitherbow. Well, hi, Jakey. Hi. Minfilia says, to show reverence to the dark? Runar says, in a word, yes, but fear not. It is not too involved. Let us begin with something simple. Follow me. Okay, let's go. Gav's going after you, Minfilia. I guess we're in here. Oh, what do these guys have to say? Davith says, we use these jugs to produce yeast. Of all the goods we have to trade, it is perhaps the most valuable. You can actually spread like a yeast starter when it's wet out on like a piece of wax paper and let it dry, and then you kind of crumple it up and save it in the freezer if you need, well, at least for sourdough starter. If you keep it dry, you can, rehydrate it and get a starter started up again very easily. I thought Master Matoya kept her room dark because she didn't need the light. But they're all like hers, aren't they? Should you see any of our people come to this chamber, they have likely returned from a journey beyond the borders of Raktika. We use the water stored here to cleanse ourselves of the light's impurity. A simple but perhaps peculiar custom, but it is one of our most important. Would you two kneel for just a moment, that I might rid you of the light's impurity? Alright, we're going to do that. There's a button here you can do it if you don't, which is great for if you're using a controller instead of a keyboard. You just hit this button up here to kneel. As Runar lightly sprays you with water, your skin begins to tingle. And with that, you have been cleansed of the light's blighted touch. How do you feel? I'm not sure, to be honest. Not refreshed exactly, but I do feel different. Has this water been treated in some way? Only blessed by our priest. They are practiced in the arcane arts. As such, it is said their prayers imbue the water with a faint, dark energy. A prickling sensation? No one has ever spoken of such a reaction before. Of course, he's got all the light that he's stored up from a couple of light warns inside him right now. I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant sensation, but I too felt something strange. The dark aspect of this water should have no discernible effect, unless... By the gods, Master Matoya was right. You are sin-eaters. It's like, no, wait. I just. What you felt was likely no more than the chill of the water. Probably not. Perhaps now would be a good time for you to acquaint yourselves with the people of Slitherbough. For that, I must teach you a customary greeting. Alin Tuta. In the language of Ranka, it is one of several ways one might say good evening. The world is not as safe as it once was, and this greeting lets us quickly discern friend from foe. Is there a handshake or a gesture we should also know? Or I would hate to offend anyone. It's laughing. No, you need not worry. Merely speak the words Alin Tuta, and they will know you as friends of the Blessed. I will await your return here. Now go. They are like to be heartened by your knowledge of our ways. With the chat mode in say, enter Alin Tuta to greet the villagers of Slitherbough. Does Runar have anything else for us? No need to be shy, my friend. The Blessed are a warm and welcoming people. Does he keep a conditioner or use conditioner on his whole body to keep a fluffy, soft feeling? I would not be surprised. Alright, let me change over to say chat here. You actually have to target him, I think. The elderly woman smiles warmly. Does she have anything else? Nope. I guess we have to go in here and say Alin Tuta. Talk to Asgeir. I once knew twins who had hair just like yours. Okay. Is that good or bad? Away with you. Oh. I forgot to say Alin Tuta to him first. Alin Chisi. Welcome, friend. I take it you will remain in these woods for some time, yes? Be wary of these woods. You will find poison in near everything you see. But fear not, our medicinal tea will keep you healthy. Ask, and it is yours. Does he have anything else? You are more than welcome to our medicines, friend. You need only ask. Okay. Harveen says, a great many of the plants near Slitherbow can be used to make dye. Though but tatters of their former glory, the purple standards surrounding the village's entrance are testament to the abundance of materials at our disposal. Speak friend and enter, yeah. If you're talking about the Muppets Christmas Carol, our family watches that every Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. It's just one of our family traditions. It's such a fun movie. Vandia, I've no business with strangers. Ah, a newly come traveler, Alan Chisi, and welcome to Slitherbow. You must forgive us if we seem strangely reserved. We are a quiet and taciturn people, silent and serene as the sunless sea. The quiet makes it easy to discern the presence of eaters and other dangers here in the woods. Does she have anything else for us? Tread lightly, friend, and may the shadows keep you. Ovalin says, I still remember when I first came here as a child. Everyone was still dressed in garb of all sorts and colors. We'd yet to find any sense of community back then. Hargrass says, let's do the small talk and not the triple triad challenge, because I don't have good cards right now. My brother and I came here 2 years ago after the Great Fire. It still hurts to think of home and all that we've lost. Yeah, fires can be devastating. We've never experienced a big one, fortunately for us. I think the only one we really had was when we have an electric stove and it's smooth top, right? So sometimes people put, you know, when pizza comes, they'll put pizza on the stove if the counter space isn't real free. And my husband turned on, there's a pizza box on there on the stove, and he turned on the wrong burner. And suddenly we had a fire on our hands. We do actually have a fire extinguisher under our stove. That's a really good investment to have, because that can buy you time, right? I hope your stroll about Slitherbow proved enlightening. Also, it's, like, small ones for your kitchen are really inexpensive, right? It's really an inexpensive insurance to, you know, put out a small fire versus having to call the fire department and, like, half your house is on fire, right? Everyone was so kind and gracious. Oh, yeah. You have to soothe a snowman and cheering it up. Oh, a grease fire. Oh, that's a good point. I've seen those, but I wasn't sure how well they worked or if it was just one of those, you know, as seen on TV, you know, things that might or might not work as well as they say they do. I was nervous at first, but already I'm starting to feel at home. There is still much I have to learn about the Knights Blessed, but their faith and strength of will is nothing short of inspiring. I can see now how they've built such a thriving community. Oh, I'm still on Reaper. Wanted to be on Samurai to get the XP. That was a good thing I was on Reaper because I'd run out my food buff. Food buffs. Make sure you have boiled eggs in your inventory and use them. Because they give you a 3% XP boost. That is huge after a while. Does she have anything else? No. Oh yeah, actually she did. I can see now how they've come to thrive in these woods, even with all the sin eaters. Yeah, we have, we have baking soda right above our stove because we use, well, often within arm's reach of the stove, actually, so. Judging by the glint in Runar's eye, there is more for you to learn about Slitherbow. A helping hand. It sounds like we're going to be helping. Ah, you are returned. Very good. No doubt they were glad of your company. It has been too long since we have had visitors. Remember, if you have any questions or there is anything you need, do not hesitate to ask. We apparently don't have questions right now. Speaking of which, we must arrange food and lodging for your stay. As friends of Master Matoya, we cannot ask for payment, but if you would be willing to lend a hand? Hint, hint. It would be my pleasure, or I'd rather not. Gav's not going to say the latter, so we'll pick that one. We are fortunate indeed to play host to such generous souls. The task I have in mind is simple enough. All I ask is that you take a jug of and water the crops in the square. Minfilia says, may I help too? Of course, one of you can do the filling and the other watering. Speak with Ursabel when you have finished. She will be relieved to hear that crops have been tended to. While you take care of that, I will see to your room and a warm meal. Right then, I'll fill you water. This was the only jug I could find that was small enough to lift, but I'm afraid there's a crack in the bottom. You'll need to hurry to the garden before all the water leaks out. Alright, well, what transporting entails? Certain duties require the transporting of items to a designated location. While carrying out such tasks, use of actions will be restricted and you will be granted the transporting status effect. You must be wary of attacks as they will sap your strength. You will lose the transporting status when the effect duration expires or you change areas. In such cases, you may return to the starting location and begin anew. Your next quest objective requires transporting. You'll have 45 seconds to do something. You'll have 45 seconds to complete the objective and learn more about this quest objective via the little icon in the duty list. Okay. Alright, it's just if you click that button, it just shows what we already knew. Oh no, did all the water leak out? Here, let me refill it for you. Okay. Since we were talking for a little bit, I wanted to have enough time to get over to our objective. You can't use any speed buffs, sadly. You have watered half of the plot. Fetch another jug of water to take care of the rest. Nope, I'm going the wrong way. Was there enough water for the plot? Only half? I see. Well, let me refill the jug for you. Oh, we only have 30 seconds now. Okay. It's probably because we know where to go now. I just look for the objective arrow. The whole plot has now been thoroughly watered. Here's Ursabel. Well met, travelers. I observed you earlier speaking with the others. Have you need of something? Hey, we watered your lawn. You watered the crops? Ah, my apologies for not noticing sooner. I've been rather distracted of late. Watering the crops was always Tadia's duty, but she is no longer with us. We have since taken to sharing the duty, though never with guests. You are most kind. Minfilia says, is there something else we can do to help? We could plant something if you like. There is no need. The plot is small, it is true, but it provides us with enough to survive. We ask for no more. So they're going to survive on 5 cabbages, 4 rows of corn, and maybe some carrots or something. 3 carrots. That's going to get them through the entire year. I don't know how you manage. Have the Blessed not considered leaving? Life would surely be easier almost anywhere else. I can understand why you might say that, but the easiest path is not always the right one. Tell me, do you know our history, how our faith came to be? Well, have a good one. Thanks for coming. Tell me, do you know our history, how our faith came to be? Yes, I believe so. The Knights Blessed was initially formed by those who lost their homes in the wake of the flood. What began as an occasional gathering of survivors eventually grew into a community, which ultimately decided to strike out on its own in the Raktika Greatwood. Ursabel says, I see you have read our history. But there is a history that is told, and one that is lived. Like so many in those times, the first of the Knights Blessed lost everything. Their homes, their loved ones, all they held dear. To make matters worse, none could say what became of the souls of those lost to the flood when their bodies were reborn as sin-eaters. The people were without answers, without hope, their gods having drowned along with everything else. It seemed that nothing was beyond the reach of the light. But soon they realized that where there is light, there must be darkness. And in that truth they found new faith, a belief that the souls of the departed could yet find peace beyond those burning skies in the sunless sea above. That is why we pray, for the safe passage of wayward souls unto that blessed black abyss, for the return of the night, that we might someday look upon the kingdom of heaven with our own eyes. We remain in these woods for the selfsame reason our founders first chose them, that we may lead lives of simplicity, with the shade of these trees as a constant reminder of our faith. Minfilia says, with so many seeking paradise in Yulmore, it's refreshing to find people who value a humbler existence. You are kind to say so. Many consider our way of life foolish, and so it must seem to those who yet cling to their worldly possessions. In times such as these, when everything can be taken away in an instant, it is all too easy to lose sight of why we fight to go on living. It is not to hold fast to material things, but to hold those who went before us in our hearts, to keep alive the legacy they have left us. Thus we must do for them, our children, and generations yet unborn. to keep their legacy alive. We're standing on top of Minfilia. She says. Or Isabel says. People from all walks of life are welcome among the Knights Blessed. Our faith in the dark is infinitely greater than the sum of our differences. Runar has more work to be done. Done tending to the crops already. Very good. It should not be long before your room is ready. The Solemn Blessed says, Runar! He's catching his breath there. In the woods. Oh, Sin Eaters. I fear they may have the touch. Where? In the grove to the southwest. For a mercy, they've yet to wander any closer to Slitherbough. Then we have no need to engage. Inform the guard that no one is to set foot outside the village until they have moved on. But, sir, what of Todia's heartstone? It must be retrieved before the service. Of all the times for Sin Eaters to appear. Are you just going to leave them alone? Under normal circumstances, we would not hesitate in striking the beast down. But if they indeed have the touch, I will not risk them corrupting one of our own. What was that you said about a stone? Solemn Blessed says, a few days past, Todia, a child of the Knights Blessed, was slain by the Sin Eaters. We succeeded in retrieving her body, but in our haste, we failed to notice her necklace was gone. Strung to it was a pendant of jade, her heartstone. All of the Knights Blessed are given such a stone at birth. It is the most valuable possession one can own. It is custom to present the heartstone of the deceased at their funeral as an offering to the heavens. But now... What if I could find it for you? I have experience fighting Sin Eaters, and the light's corruption does not touch me like it does others. Runar says, Master Matoya called you Minfilia, did she not? Are you truly the Minfilia, descended from the Oracle? Even so, I dare not ask you to risk your life for the Blessed. I understand how you feel, but I can't stand by knowing that your people are in need and I can help. Please, let me do this. Very well, but if the danger proves too great, you must retreat. I could never forgive myself if we were forced to hold a second service. I nearly forgot about Thancred. What if he returns before I do? You can say, don't worry, I'll come with you, or Thancred doesn't need to know. I think Gav respects Thancred too much to say that second one, so don't worry, I'll come with you. Just going, whoa! Thank you. With you at my side, I'm certain we can deal with them in no time at all. Go swiftly, and may the shadows keep you both. Alright, before we do that, I'm going to take a quick bio break. We'll be right back. And we are back. Let's get back into the grain. Get back into the game. Alright. We have to go... Oh, this is what we do for family. That's probably a... Ether quest would be my guess. Farthon. Farthon is in a hurry, but not in such a hurry that he would deny a helping hand. You're that guest Master Matoya was telling us about. Please, you have to help me. I've searched high and low, but I can't find my friend Karnas anywhere. I fear he's run off to Fort Gone again. It's where he grew up, and it was abandoned years ago after the Sin Eaters attacked. The place is teeming with all manner of beasts now, and Master Matoya has expressly forbidden anyone from setting foot there. I don't know what's gotten into him lately, but we have to find him before he gets hurt. If you should find him first, you'll want to tell him our password. Took two. He's the skittish sort, so don't delay in telling him so he'll know you mean no harm. Okay, we have to say took two. Changed to say chat. Had me stuck in the chat box. Let's see, we gotta get out of here somehow. Forgot how we get out of here. Up that way. I don't know why I'm running when I can be riding. Okay, so we're gonna go do... The MSQ quest is on the way to that Ether quest. By the way, do we have any... Tony Yelms north. Well, we're going south. Wasn't sure if I heard Jake. Thought I heard Jake jumping up on the desk, but that wasn't him. It should be around here somewhere, I think. Destination. Anytime you see that, you're probably going to be fighting. There! The Sin Eaters! I was hoping there would only be one. There's no way we can search for the stone without dealing with them first. Let's get to it then. Perhaps we should split them up. What do you propose we do? Let's see what Minfilia is thinking of doing. Fighting them together here would make it a lot of noise, which might attract beasts or other eaters. But if we fought them separately and quietly, we might not have to worry about that. He's going, good thinking, man. Good thinking. All right then, I'll draw one away while you handle the other. Alright, that's the one we gotta go deal with. Yeah, there's Minfilia. Gav! Oh, there you are. It's done, though I fear I was a bit careless. I'll do better next time, I promise. Uh-oh. I'm fine. You needn't worry about me. More importantly, we have to find that heartstone. They said it was made of jade, right? I'll search over there in the brush. Search for the jade heartstone. Okay, we got this entire area to look at. Okay. While we're down here, ah, there's Karnas, and I see the pile of leaves there. You brush away the leaves and uncover a brilliant green gem. I'm not sure how we saw a green stone in green grass with leaves covering it, but, you know, we are the Warrior of Light, so we have superhero powers. Karnas. Stay away, I beg of you. We have to say Tukta. Thought we did. Oh, Tuktu. I spelled it wrong. That would be why. You're from Slitherbow? Varthon must have sent you then. I was fine until that damn beetle. It's only a scratch, but I'm starting to feel numb and my vision's grown clouded. Worst of all, I dropped my only vial of serum somewhere in these damned woods. Could you find it for me? Alright. You have to go north, so we'll finish this one up. Did you have any luck? Jade Heartstone, a keepsake once belonging to Todia of the Knights Blessed. It's beautiful. This has to be it. You know, Thancred always said you were a man of many talents, and I think I'm beginning to understand what he meant. I have much to learn if I'm to be even half the hero you are. The hero she was. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. Well, let's face it. You, little Minfilia, have done far more killing one Sin Eater than Minfilia ever did. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. I'm sorry. Forget I said anything. We should hurry back to Slitherbow. Runar and the others are probably worried. We may as... Let's go back up to Slitherbow. Oh, Thancred's gonna be mad at her. Thancred, I can explain. Well, out with it then. Runar says, "Thank goodness you are safe. I had begun to fear the worst." By all that is dark, you found it! We can proceed with our service as planned. These blessed gems serve not only to protect us in life, but to guide our spirits unto the sunless sea in the hereafter. Even should we be felled by the Sin Eaters, so long as these gems are recovered, our souls are ensured peace in the dark. Runar lets out a sigh of relief. Words fail to express my gratitude for this kindness you have done for the Blessed. I must insist you and your friends attend Todia's service as honored guests. There is still much we must do to prepare, but please go and inform the others. It will be held in the darker. When you arrive, there should be an attendant present to explain the proceedings. Okay, let's see what Minfilia has to say. Gav and I learned so much about the Knights Blessed while you were away. And we helped them recover a lost heirloom out in the woods. I know I wasn't supposed to leave, but they really needed our help. There were Sin Eaters and... Thancred says, as long as he accompanied you... But do try to be more careful. Your injuries could have been a lot worse. How did you... Let's just say a little bird told me, and it's telling me now that Gav has business with us. Is something the matter? They've asked us to attend the service? Of course we'll go. It's being held in the darker, is it? We'll take care not to be late, I promise. Do you have anything else to say? It's such a relief to know everything is going as planned. I'll join you in the darker shortly. Between your earlier excursion and my patrol of the area for Sin Eaters, hopefully Y'shtola and Urianger will be able to finish their work in peace. Okay, let's go finish that Ether quest. Not run into the wall doing it. Discarded bottle. A lot of people make fun of that area theme song. And it's I can see how it could be mocked. But I still think it's a cool piece of music. My daughters came and closed the door. Barthan says, so you came back after all. There you are. Did you find it? Slitherbow serum, a vial of all-purpose anti-venom, common among the Knights Blessed. He has to turn around to drink it. Thank you. I should be fine now after a bit of rest. What were you thinking coming back here? You could have been killed. I had to, Varthon. For my father. Okay, we gotta go that way. Let's see if there's any more blue quests for us for right now. No. Blessed Elder. The elderly woman hands you a candle. She then points over at a nearby corner where you might place it. Blue flamed candle. A handmade candle of the Knights Blessed. It burns an eerie blue when lit. All right, here's our destination. Yeah, I can see when you hear it on repeat 18,000 times that it'd be an issue.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Let us begin. I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers. We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
Oh, that's cool. It's like going, what?
We call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul unto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her unto paradise everlasting.
I don't know what they were trying to convey with Gav's expression there. I don't know if he was thinking, you know, he's been talking to the...
I'm told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks.
So I feel like they are trying to convey that, you know, he knows the Warrior of Darkness, having seen him as a ghost. But also, it's like, I'm gonna get rid of this darkness, or this light thing, if it's the last thing I do, you know?
The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
You could say I should like to have met her. You know I don't deserve such reverence, or nothing. I think let's go with the second one.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing. Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will?
Tancred's going, she's right.
Forgive me, thinking of all those we have lost.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
She kind of misunderstood what he was thinking there, I think. She's like going, oh, you told me not to go out. You know, I can't be involved in that.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Urianger and I have finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
I think Tancred was kind of resolving himself to the fact that she was going to be involved in taking out the Light Warden no matter what he did, or to try and stop it. So he's kind of resigning himself to the fact that he's got to accept that she's growing up, you know, and she's learning and becoming better, and has some talent. All right, let's see what our folks have to say here. Tancred says, hopefully Y'shtola has good news to share. A chance to reclaim the night has lit a fire in Minfilia that I would see kindled. What do you suppose she's gleaned from the tablet? We don't know until we talk to her. What does Urianger say? I have no doubts thou wilt find the contents of the tablet most informative. It's going, I think you'll find that what's in the tablet is very interesting. Good, you're here. Thanks to the Exarch's gift, our next course of action is now clear. I'm going to actually keep these in my... this gives item level 72, or item level 395. I'll save them in my on my retainers. save them for another character who's kind of coming up through the ranks. Do they have anything new? Nope. Yustola seems quite pleased with herself, but whether she has good or bad news to share remains to be seen. Let me begin by first explaining the origins of this tablet. I initially believed it might detail the history of the Church of the First Light. Much to my surprise, it dates back to the end of the Ronkan Empire and was likely written under the direction of the reigning ruler. It was a time of strife and unceasing war with neighboring nations. With each passing day, they yielded more and more territory to their enemies. In their desperation, petitions for aid were sent out to their allies. This was one such petition. Do you think this ancient petition will somehow help us into Ixmaja? Or Ixmaya, that's how it's pronounced, Ixmaya. Indeed we do. He's saying yes. Says in 3 words what he could say in 1. For etched into this tablet is a method by which one may prove themselves an ally of the Ronkan Empire. So, the stone says there's a method that lets us present ourselves as allies to the Ronkan Empire. Provided we are able to decipher said instructions, we may entreat the ruins' protectors to grant us safe passage. So, as long as we can figure out what the instructions are, we can then ask the ruins guards, basically, to let us through without attacking us. Yustola says, the problem, however, is I presently lack the resources to decipher them in their entirety. We have but one recourse. There exists a stone monument inscribed with ancient Ronkan text and translations into a more modern dialect, which came into use after the fall of the Empire. I am confident it will suit our purposes. Minfilia says, where can we find this monument? Yustola says, here in Cydia, quite close to Slitherbow, in fact. The good news ends there, however, for it is in the possession of a rather radical faction of dark worshippers, the Children of the Everlasting Dark. If I am to study the monument, I must infiltrate their encampment. I have no intention of taking longer than absolutely necessary, but I will nevertheless require time to transcribe the text I need. To ensure that I will have enough, I am afraid I must ask you and Thancred to assist me. Thancred says, and before you even ask, the answer is no. If we're to remain unseen, our group must be as small as possible. All right, I'll stay here until you return. We won't be long. If anything should happen, you keep her safe, he says to Urianger. Urianger says, of course. Yustola says, let us convene outside to the west of Slitherbow, where the path diverges. Alright, do they have anything else for us? Take care, Gav. Urianger says, for my part, I shall make all possible preparations that Yustola may begin translating the tablet upon her return. Okay. I'm gonna get us prepared for when you all bring back that tablet so we can start translating as soon as you all are back. I check periodically to see if there's some more blue quests. Ah, there our friends are. Thancred says, all set. You show us that the encampment we seek is to the north, but it would be foolish to simply rush in. A guard has been posted at Cleric to keep watch over the children. Perhaps he has aught to share of their recent activity. But we must tread carefully. There is a chance we may encounter them along the way. Stay close and stay alert. I would avoid a confrontation if possible. They rejoice in dealing death to others, claiming that in doing so they cleanse their victims of sin and usher them into the sunless sea. I would rather not sully my hands defending myself against such madmen. Oh, we're going up north, okay. Alright, our thing is 293 yalms to the northeast. We're gonna... No, I want the fast one. $79 yalms to the east. Oh, there it is. Right in the water. $506 yalms to the east. That is near Fanau. And we don't have that area unlocked yet, so we're gonna have to wait till we get to farther along in the story. Okay, I see where we're supposed to fight. Ooh, that's cool. I like Shoha. It's a really neat attack. That one, what does that do? Delivers an attack to all enemies in a straight line before you with a potency of 400. Oki Namakiri delivers a critical hit to enemies in a cone before you with a potency of 860 for the first enemy and 40% less for all remaining enemies. Damage dealt is increased when under an effect that raises critical hit rate, which is good. So she sees people through ether. How does she read? When are we taking you to get horses? when the game says so. We are aiding him. By the blessed dark. Thank goodness you were unharmed. Thancred says, we would have arrived sooner, but we too had a rather unwelcome visit from the children. Blessed Watchman says, you're an acquaintance of Master Matoya then? My apologies. The children have been acting strange of late, so I thought to take a closer look. I was careless. Y'shtola says, strange? What have you seen? At first there seemed to be nothing out of the ordinary, the usual gathering of ingredients for poisons from flora and fauna. But then I took notice of their venomous spiders. They've been breeding them in much greater numbers. It's as if they're preparing for something. Thancred says, any ideas as to what? Y'shtola says, it could be anything really. If it meant the end of the Blessed, nothing would be too cruel or violent for them. But perhaps we can use their present preoccupation with spiders to our advantage. If we were to introduce a threat to the nests where they keep them, the children would be compelled to save them. Bees, for example, are a natural predator of spiders. Set them loose on the nests and we would have our opportunity to sneak into their encampment. Thancred says, what a mischievous plan. I like it. With a bit of smoke, we should be able to subdue a few colonies long enough to secure their hives. Thancred asks the other guy, have you anything we might be able to use? The watchman says, we should have smoke bombs at the outpost just over there. Thancred says, then it's settled. Grab a few smoke bombs from the outpost and search about for beehives. I imagine the bees won't take too kindly to your visit, but once they're knocked out, take the beehives and bring them back here. 2 will suffice, I should think. Blessed Watchman says, if it's all the same to you, I'll be returning to Slitherbrow. I don't want to get in the way. Stay safe and may the shadows keep you. Okay. Let's drive on over there. Wait, I think I missed the entrance there. Outpost supplies. How did they get up there? There's no stairs. You can hear the buzzing along with the waterfall there. Smoke bomb. Target is not in range? What do you mean it's not in range? Oh, you can't be too close to it, I guess? Oh, let's collect it up now. Use a large burlap sack to take the bees from the hive. Alright, there's one down. Thancred, could you not have found us 2 beehives that were a little closer together? Oh, we're too far away, okay. Alright, and then we're going to use the little burlap sack. Oh. You know, I had a brain cramp about the horses. We could do that anytime, actually. Referring to the, doing the expert trials, I think? Or raids? Can't remember which. To get these different mounts. Ingrid says, were you able to find any? The guard returned to Slitherbow, but not before offering his thanks. As for the beehives, Thancred and I were successful in acquiring what we need. How did you fare? We got 2 buzzing burlap sacks. For God's sakes, don't let them out. The description. This is more than enough. The children are certain to be displeased. Let us hurry before the bees begin to stir. Does he have anything else? The bag is sealed tight, but I'd rather not keep the bees buzzing about there longer than we have to. Yashol is ready to move. The children's settlement is to the west, a place they call Woven Oath. According to the guard, there is an airway apart from the entrance, which leads to the spider's nest. If the fates are kind, the way will be clear. The fates are not generally kind to Gav, unfortunately. I probably need to go unlock those. I have to see where I gotta start that. We discovered a new location. Trying to unlock that area. Excuse me. Not letting me do it. Oh, now it let me do it. Okay. Got everything unlocked in that region now. Thancred says we should move quickly before any of the children arrive. Up there is an airway. Do you see it? Thancred says a bit far, perhaps, but we should be able to toss the bag through. Though we should probably loosen the ropes, keeping it closed enough that it falls open when it lands inside. May I do the honors? That should do it. Now we wait. What is that? Bees! By the abyss, they're everywhere! Help! Someone help! We have to save the spiders! Sounds like our plan is working. Still, it is quite likely not all were drawn away from their posts. Tanker says, if you come to blows with the children, I'll see to it any signs of struggle are concealed. Failing that, I'll create a distraction to buy Y'shtola more time. Should anyone get past me, it falls to you to guard her. Of course. Your concern is appreciated, but I sincerely doubt it will come to that. Why do I get the feeling you enjoy the idea of my loafing about bored in the shadows? Come now, Thancred, the shadows are a fitting place for a warrior of darkness. Now, if you both are ready... Yep. Go on, I'll be right behind you. Wasn't sure how we're supposed to get in here. Ah, okay. I think down here, you can't get in because it's up high. It's an exit if you want to jump down. Warrior of Light gets stuck on a rock. Or maybe it's this one. Actually, we just drive right through them. Oops. I think I went the wrong way. There's no way through there. The womb, this is called. The font of seeing suggests this is a chamber for prayer. At the very least, they would not place this near potential distractions from their worship. Perhaps the monument is farther in. Okay, let's go on up that way. Yes, this is it. I'll be but a moment. Keep watch of the entryway. On second thought, would you mind examining the murals on these walls while I look this over? At a glance, I can tell they are old, predating the founding of the Blessed and the Children, in fact. We'd not like to come here a second time. 'Twould behoove us to learn all that we can. Examine the murals and take note of what events they may depict. You may move the camera as well as zoom in and out. Target a mural and examine it with the left button. Let's start with that one. The mural appears to be ancient. A warrior in the middle stands triumphant over what appears to be a creature of shadow. Other figures surround the warrior, rejoicing in their victory. Rankin mural. The mural appears to be very old. A ruler sits atop a throne, attended by their subjects. The mural appears to be fairly old. A knight shields himself and their comrades from an encroaching darkness. The central figure is considerably faded.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history. The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this. There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces. He offered us work when we needed it. Slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was. But he had a good heart. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends. A tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era.
That outfit he has on, my god.
The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned, commemorating the heroes of their day. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder. Rather faded, isn't it, compared to the others? But did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some other kind of monument?
There you are. I have everything I need. Let us quit this place.
Ah, he disappeared right away.
Is something the matter? We should go. The others are waiting.
I wonder if she can see his spirit, and I wonder if so, I wonder if he knows that she can do that. Ingrid says, "Good to see my distraction prove successful." That it did. I believe I now have everything needed to finish deciphering the tablet. Tell me, Gav, did the murals appear to be of any significance? Depictions of heroes from the Age of Gods, the Ronkan Empire, and immediately before the Flood. Very astute observations. Perhaps in another lifetime you could be a curator of antiquities. Though it has no bearing on the task at hand, perhaps that knowledge may prove to be of use in the future. Alright. Do you have anything else? Nope. Yshtola's thirst for knowledge sated, she seems content to return to Slitherbow. Let us hurry to Slitherbow, the others are waiting. After we've returned, the two of you should rest a while. No doubt Runar will be eager to have you sample his cooking. As soon as I discover anything of import, you'll be the first to know. Okay, let's go back to Slitherbow. Oh, there's a blue quest for us to pick up. Valen. Valen is gravely concerned for a friend. Say, aren't you Gav? Master Matoya speaks quite highly of you. I'm sure you've more important things to concern yourself with, but I need help, and there's no one else I can turn to. It's my friend, Quinfort. Ever since we were young, he's always excelled in the arcane arts. In fact, even now, he's in training to become a priest of the Knights Blessed. Perhaps the greatest of his gifts is clairvoyance, but I fear it's taken a toll on his mind as of late. He's always been different, but not like this. He's changed. Frighteningly so. The others think him no stranger than usual, but they're wrong, and I mean to prove it. You don't know him like we do, which is precisely why I'd like you to talk with him, to get an objective opinion on the matter. Oh, assuming we find out what ails him, I hope there's a way to cure it. Does he have anything else? I think my concern will become abundantly clear once you speak with him. Okay. Let's see what Minfilia and Thancred have to say. Welcome back, Gav. Now that you're here, there's something I want to ask you. Urianger told me that Thancred was something of a rogue in the past. As a wolf among sheep, he said. What did he mean by that? Do you know? Minfilia doesn't speak Urianger yet. Urianger has tended to Minfilia's wounds, but I fear his garrulous nature has gotten the better of him. I said too much. Gav, the guard told me you left with Master Matoya to Woven Oath. And no sooner do you return than she locks herself away in her chambers without so much as a word. She knows how I worry when she leaves without telling me. But she is safe, and that is all that matters. You must be hungry after such a journey. Why not have a seat there by the fire? The stew will soon be ready. Alright, does he have anything else to say? I confess I am not the greatest of cooks, but I have yet to hear any complaints.
Strange. The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
Oh, maybe we should go check on the patrol first?
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it? The blessing may spare him the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. He is not as he was in the Source. Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that he has been suffused with their light.
Oh, Urianger has nothing to say here.
I have given thought to this possibility. I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy.
It's a fair point.
I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Help! Someone help! The Umorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Meanwhile, in Eulmore, I love this scene. Great.
Lord Vorthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
I think he's saying that to be polite. Maybe with a certain sarcasm. But, you know, it's a diplomatic greeting, of course.
And you as disingenuous.
Let
Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of dissidents people are calling warriors of darkness. They have slain sin-eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers. So I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility. Even should you slay the Sin-Eaters, the world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion.
Not necessarily.
They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god. I will see their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss. Men are fickle creatures who entertain vague ideals without the faintest notion what they cost. But a little fear can go a long way towards helping them realize what it is they truly need.
Sure, Vothri, sure.
Sanctuary. And they shall find none in this world save that which I afford them. That is why the Sin-Eaters exist. To unite the world, under my dominion.
Dude, what a megalomaniac.
A paradise fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome, and we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
You poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Forthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know, that their children may never know. I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Sometimes we do things not because we'll ever see it in our lifetime, but because we see the path that it could improve for children and grandchildren and beyond, you know? And that is a worthy goal, to make your descendants' lives better.
These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains. And I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
Nice
With
smile.
Tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Nice smile.
Why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you. So naive. So painfully predictable. Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated. The people of this world are mine to rule, mine to command. And you are no exception!
Haha.
What? How did he? Insolent swine! I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
Nice. Nice.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands. By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions has grown too great to ignore.
So now we know why the Children of Darkness were, you know, making all that extra poison, right? It's, for the Yulmorans and them to use in battle against the Knights Blessed.
Therefore, his lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith. You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed Shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for woven oath with all haste. We will leave you, that you may have time to prepare.
Woven oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those zealots?
What has your faith afforded you thus far? Nothing! We will guide you along the righteous path.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
I think he's able to see something in her that others can't.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
Think would say. That Yulmore has gained a foothold here in these woods bodes ill for the Knights Blessed. Minfilia says, surely there's something we can do to help the Knights Blessed, isn't there? Well, if anybody has an idea, it'll be Urianger. The guard hath been afflicted with a most terrible and efficacious poison. Okay. The guard was hit with a super bad poison. We have attempted all manner of healing incantations. Alas, his condition remains unchanged. So we've used every healing spell we've got available to us, but he still hasn't gotten better. At present, we can but slow the poison's advance. I pray it will afford us sufficient time to find a cure. Let's see. Alright, we can only slow down the poison. We can't stop it, so... But I hope slowing it down will give us enough time to find a cure. Nothing new. Urianger wears a somber expression. Urianger says, "How fareth the young guard? How's he doing?" Y'shtola says, "The poison spread throughout his system long before he was brought here. At present, there is naught we can do but try to ease his pain." It's like, oh. Runar says, "Do not blame yourself, my friends. All that can be done has been done. Even had we reached him sooner, it would have made little difference. The children employ countless poisons. Finding a suitable antidote is a nigh impossible task." Tancred says, "What of the rest of the Blessed? How have they taken the news of Eomora's generous proposition?" Runar says, "With anger and dismay. We cannot hope to oppose both them and the children. I considered a convocation of all the Knights Blessed that we might consider their ultimatum, but I know how they will answer. Master Matoya, I am truly sorry, but we will not, cannot abandon our faith. But there is no reason for you to suffer for our decision. Your work is not yet done, and you still have time to flee." Flee? I am not wont to run from my troubles. In fact, with Gav's arrival, I am minded to take the offensive. The Eomoran's presence here plainly stems from a desire to protect the Light Warden. I say we seek it out and slay the creature before they return. Were darkness to fall over Raktika, they would have no cause to remain. Tancred says, "All of which is much easier said than done, unless, of course, you've finally deciphered that tablet." "I have, as a matter of fact, and with it we can prepare everything we need to enter Ixmaya. What say you all? We will need to act quickly, but I believe it can be done." Rian says, "We cannot deny our fate, but one course lieth before us." Okay, we can't deny it. We have only one way out. You could say we slay the Light Warden for the Knights Blessed, or, well, we are villains, are we not? Let's do that. Sounds like fun. Yep. Y'shtola says, "Good. I leave the Blessed in her capable hands, Runar." "Very well." He's like sad that she's staying. "I see there is no changing your mind. By all that is dark, I swear to keep the Blessed safe." Y'shtola says, "According to the tablet, we will first need to obtain a seal used to identify the allies of Rogka in times past. One such seal should be waiting for us in the complex of underwater ruins not far from here. You have some experience with subaquatic excursions, do you not?" Yeah. "Then this should prove a simple task for you. The ruins we seek are at the bottom of Lake Tusimekta." Tancred says, "Well, while you see to that, Minfilia and I will remain here to help shore up Slitherbow's defenses." Runar says, "Your aid would be greatly appreciated." Okay. Alright, we're going to leave the MSQ for today. I'm going to look up how to unlock these horsies real quick, so I can start the next series of normal raids or trials. Okay, let's see what I have. See what we got for a duty finder. That okay, so to get the horses we have to do Bowl of Embers, Howling High, Naval, Thorn March, War Leader, Striking Tree, and maybe Akafa hard on hard mode. So or actually on extreme mode. Let me double check. Oh yeah, Howling Eye, Naval, Bowl of Embers, War Eater, Striking Tree, and Akafa Extremes. Okay. So you do all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. And that'll unlock another quest that'll let you get an 8th horsey. They're really cool looking mounts, by the way. So those will be nice to get done. They have some cool music with them, too. So we're going to leave that here for now. I have them in my queue, at least, to be done. Might knock them out maybe tonight. After we have some dinner. I got to go make dinner right now. The cats and kittens got to be fed. So I think we're having nachos tonight. We grilled up some chicken the other night. And just with, some marinated in some Italian dressing. That was it. Hubby put them on the grill. They're fantastic. Anyway, we're going to, we're going to slice them up real good or maybe into smaller chunks. And then we are going to have nachos tonight. So that's on our plan. Waiting to see if he brings home ripe avocados or the guacamole. Because sometimes the avocados at the store we shop at are just like hard as rocks, and it takes them about 5 days to ripen up enough to be used. So I don't know if I'm making guacamole tonight or just using the deli stuff. Anyway, so that's our plan, and I'll be releasing another video probably sometime this weekend-ish. It just kind of all depends on how family life goes and how much we got to do for this and that and the other. So we'll know in a while. Right. Anyway, that's my goal, is to have at least one video out every, sometime between Friday and Monday, and then do the live streams on Wednesdays. We will be live streaming on Wednesdays again. I am thinking about picking up a night on Kick to live stream there as well. Just to see what we can pick up from there. And I have to figure out what night will work, because it's hard for the family to be quiet in the evenings, right? And I don't want to, force them to have to be quiet all the time. That's not fun for everybody else, too. Afternoons, I can do it because, not everybody's at home. So, anyway, that's my goals. So, on that note, we got to have a cat joke, people. Let's get to our cat jokes. Alright, here's a bad one. How can you spell mousetrap using only 3 letters? C-A-T. True. Our cat is a really good mouser. Like, there's no hope that anything's going to surprise or survive in this house. When there's a mouse in the house, it's dead the next morning. Jake is a good mouser. Now, they don't get in very often. Fortunately, I think we've only had 2 make it in. Probably in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years. Alright, what do cats drink on cold days? Kit tea. Kit tea. Okay. Alright. On that note, we're going to say goodbye. If you can like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, especially leaving a comment, and those always help. It helps to bump us up a little higher in the algorithm. So if you can help, great. Feel free. We really appreciate it. And we will see you soon, cats and kittens. MamaCatGamer is signing out. You have a great one.